Welcome back, everybody, inside of the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center for Game 2 here on Thursday night between the Big River Crusaders and the Odessa Flames, two Saskatchewan teams here at the 2018 Juvenile Canadian Broomball Championships. Up here in the broadcast booth, Matt Sanderson alongside Doug McGregor. And Doug, this is, first of all, such a great event that we're able to be a part of here of this tournament. You were already able to cover some of these games early on yesterday. What do you see from these teams?
There's been a lot of good competition here this week. This game coming up, I think it's a big game for both teams, because if I think if Big River wins, they pretty well seal a side. But if they lose and Odessa wins, there's still a chance for them to go A side. So I think it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire here.
Well, you see here as the Big River Crusaders right now 3-1 right now. The Odessa Flames 1-3 in these girls standings here. That team from Quebec though right now 5-0. But you see that goals for and goals against. Big River goals for, scored 10, only allowed 2 goals against. So this is a pretty solid Big Rivers team.
And actually they're a physically big team. So defensively they hold their opponents off to the outside and don't let them have in the middle of the ice, and that's huge in broomball. Don't not give them the middle of the ice to shoot.
Okay, so I believe that you've been around broomball for quite some time. You see these two teams here, and what is your initial thought of being able to, for these teams to try to strike early here? How important is it for these two teams to do just that?
Well, it's very important. A good start. If you get a quick start on a team and put them back on their heels right off the bat, it's hard to recover from that. It might take you half a period to get your momentum back, and if you don't do it quick, you could be down 2-0 pretty quick. So a quick start is crucial.
All right. So to the ice we go, and already starting off, I believe that's Odessa in the black and then the Big River Crusaders in the white. A lot of force already. You've already talked about these two teams, and you already see a lot more fast-paced games coming, or style coming from these two squads.
Yeah, they're, like I say, they're a big. Both teams are actually a big physical team, so they're going to want to put a lot of pressure on and make people turn and hear some footsteps, I'm sure.
All right, this ball comes in to Big River's end, as that is Madison Myers that flipped it over to her teammate. Once again, this is a big family sport. We have a couple Myers on this team that are related. And this one comes into Odessa's end, will be picked up by Quinn Prochian. I think I said that right. Some of these names, it's unbelievable. From your time playing though, Doug, how is broomball a hotbed in some of these other provinces as much as it is in Ontario?
Not real. No, Ontario and Quebec are truly the hotbeds. Now there is a lot of broomball in Saskatchewan, but they seem to have a hard time sending teams to the national tournament. It's pretty costly, you know, when you start spending $600 or $700 on a flight per person. It runs you a lot of money by the time you get your accommodations and food and everything in there for a week. So it's hard sending a couple teams, but Ontario and Quebec usually are the two big provinces to support the broomball.
All right, offsides there, and there's going to be a shift here as we have line changes coming up. Face off going to be at the middle dot here. Won by Odessa, as this is Kristen Glass had that ball. Now flipped over and deflected in front. Nobody there to pick up the rebound. Glass fans on the shot. Back the other way, and Hannah Kalinoka will try to track that ball down. It's going to go into Odessa's end. And along the sideboards, a battle. There's Madison Bender. Bender flips this one down into the Big River zone. Back the other way is Lauren Myers. That one's knocked away. Shot taken over top of the net. That was Cranky with the shot from the point. Deflected up over top. Good play there by Jesse Rain Horner, the goaltender of the Odessa Flames. Odessa doing a great job moving this ball. They've had a couple opportunities here in the Big River zone, but back the other way come the Crusaders. Shot deflected in front. Myers right down into the other zone. Doug, when you look at the playing style of these two teams, is there one that maybe stands out to you a little bit more than the other?
Not really. No, they're both pretty similar. We're gonna see who's maybe a little tougher on the ball here, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a little physical game here between the two rivaling teams from Saskatchewan.
We've already seen a little bit of the aggressive play in the sideboards to start off this game, as this one is going to be dumped in. Robin Schaefer, she will throw this ball into the corner. Now back to the other side. That is out in front, and that'll be number 27, who we don't have on here, but will come out to Schwark now. Trying to fight off her defender. Great effort by Abigail Lenz, fighting through Schwark as she had no teammate in front. What a great opportunity that would have been for Odessa. Now, the battle on the boards. Prochian will throw that to Morgan Schaefer, who now will track that ball behind the net. Out in front, a lot of defense. Great job by the Crusaders with the defense, knocking the Odessa Flames away from trying to get an opportunity on the net. Scrum on the boards. Hinson grabs it. Teammate calling for the ball. Shot fanned on. That's Danica Friesen. She'll throw it back to Wilson. Has it over to Myers. Blocked. Myers. Now the shot on net. Up in the air. Good save by Horner. That is Brittany Crashley, who's been adding a lot of pressure on Horner.
Odessa's hemmed in here right now. Can't seem to get control of the ball.
Now They do a good job knocking the Crusaders away from the ball as it comes back into the other end. They're going to regroup. And here come the Crusaders once again, and kind of like the last game here, Doug, the Big River Crusaders been spending the majority of this time as we're a little over 8 minutes through this first period in Odessa's end. You got to think at some point that Big River is going to be striking first, as they've had a couple good opportunities.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be a matter of time. There it is.
There it is. That is Madison Cranky with the first goal, and right on point. 10:35 into the first period.
That was a good shot, bottom left corner.
For Owen Sound fans watching back at home, wondering how the Owen Sound attack are doing, they're up 3-1 right now as the Sioux has scored. But you see the replay there. Plain and simply, she just beat the goaltender point blank.
Yeah, the goalie maybe got a little, lost her net a little bit there, maybe got a little too far to the left. But
all right, and here's Cranky again. She's doing a great job with the play. Passes it to Price. Back over to Cranky. Nice play across to the other side. Over to Myers, who will take the shot. Stopped in front by Horner. Cranky again. Nice move one way. She'll throw it back. Almost had the rebound in front, but a defender came in and stopped that one. Good play by Haley Lenz. Now Kristen Glass tried to move it to Lenz. Now the turnover. The shot will go over top of the net. And Odessa, I think that's the third time already, Doug, in the last couple minutes that Odessa's tried to move that ball out of their zone, but Big River doing good job playing strong defense in that offensive zone.
yeah, and also too, if they notice there, the Big River has had 3 changes on that one shift down deep, and you can do that easy when you've got your bench close to that zone.
I think that's the first change that we've seen from Odessa in a little bit, as they aim to make this a 2-0 game. Great stop in front. Now it comes into the middle again, where Couture, she will miss that ball, and it'll be tracked back behind the Flames net. And
right now, Odessa's getting beat to every ball here. Big River's got a little more jump than Odessa has.
And right on point as Schwark, captaining her team here, calling a great play. But now there's a breakaway, but what a play there by Big River.
It's a good stop by the goalie. That she got a blocker on that.
I think that's one of her first saves of this game right now, and it comes almost 3/4 of the way through this first period. Goaltender Mackenzie Myers. I would assume that she's related to the other Myers, as there's 4 of them on the team. Fanned in front. Back the other way. Almost was able to work it to her teammate Gear, but now this will be Boussier. Tries to play it off the boards. Turned over. Great chance here as Horner comes out and plays it. Has to be careful there, Doug, because that could have almost backfired on her.
Yeah, she didn't get the ball where she wanted to and went off a defender, and it could have very well been open net for Big River here.
Good play there by Myers. Throwing the body around, that's Madison Myers. And Odessa really hasn't had many chances right now in the Crusaders' end. The Crusaders are doing a great job with clogging up those lanes, but also strong offense in Odessa's end. We'll see that one save here by Myers.
Went off the end of her broom. That was going into the corner of the net, and she just got her broom on it.
Very big save there, as that could have easily been a 1-1 game and could have possibly changed the dynamic of how this game would go. But nonetheless, it's now 1-0. Good chance there as the Flames, they'll work it through their zone, but Cranky tries to get that over to Lauren Myers and couldn't. So now Myers working from the top of the point, pushes that back behind Odessa's net. And the Flames here, once again, attempting to get this ball out of their zone. They do just for a brief moment. But back the other way is Kristen Glass. Almost had a teammate. A good stop there by the Crusaders defender. Coming back the other way, there's Demers. She'll be worked off that ball. Strong defense by Jade Chittenden from the Odessa Flames. And Morgan Schaefer sends that ball back the other side. It's going to be blocked by Price, though. And Schaefer works that up to Hazafel. Now across to Schaefer, who had a good chance, but was not able to get all of that. Now working across the zone. Big River once again. It seems like, Doug, almost everywhere you look, there's an Odessa Flames team, but then you have Big River all over almost every single player.
Yeah, they're not giving them any time and space. They're closing their gaps pretty quick. And basically, if Odessa has a chance, they're getting one shot and done, and Big River's taking it right back at them. But they're getting a penalty here now, so we'll see what Odessa can do with the power play.
This is the first a power play that we've actually seen of the night. There was not even one power play in that first game. And now it's 4 minutes left in this period. A scrum in front of the net. I don't know how that one did not get through. And now it will go back into the other zone.
The goalie came out of the crease there, and that got the icing waved off. If she had stayed in the crease, we would have had an icing call and would have been back down there in Big River's end.
So a good heads-up play by the goaltender. As Myers fighting hard in the boards. This is Prochin. She gets it to Skaken. Josie Emily Skaken back over to Prochin. Skaken takes a shot. This is wide. And Jose Boussier. My French was not very good in high school, and I should have freshened up on it for this point in my life. But nonetheless, Boussier, she will start at the point, works it over to a teammate and blocked in front by the Crusaders. Good play there. And here comes Cranky. Works to one side, almost had the chance. But Doug, what speed there from Cranky.
Well, she read, Odessa's playing with the two-man high system on their power play, and she read the pass over and picked it off, and away she was gone.
We've already seen how dangerous she is in this game, as she's got the lone goal here and almost had a second one there. 2:09 left to go in this first period here. Matt Sanderson, Doug McGregor up here in the broadcast booth, bringing you game 2 here on Thursday night. And it's a full weekend, or you could say probably takes up 3/4 of the week per se. This tournament does, and it's a great tournament here at the Bayshore. It's just fitting that it fell in the second round of the OHL playoffs, where Owen Sound is not playing at home until this whole tournament is done.
Yeah, they're, I don't know, I guess Owen Sound would have had to wait till this tournament's over if somebody else had won and they got home ice advantage, but it worked out.
And as we've already mentioned earlier, Owen Sound up 3-1 right now on the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Could be a potential stunner. Shot out in front. Good play off the boards. Now there's Price. She'll have the chance, and 1-1 now. As 2-0 as the Crusaders score here to start to put this game a little bit more out of reach here.
Yeah, Odessa's going to have a hard time. Don't seem to have a lot of jump, and Big River's been all over them here. So with the 2-0 lead, it's going to be tough for them to come back from that, I think.
Face off one, and Gear almost picks this one up. Under 40 seconds left to play here in the first period. Battle on the sideboards in front of the Crusader net. There's Crusader bench. Odessa still trying to get this ball out of their zone. The Crusaders, it seems like almost every single time they're down here in the Flames' end, they are adding so much pressure that Odessa really hasn't had many chances. There's this one for a very brief moment to really get anything going, Doug.
Well, Odessa, when they're breaking out of their end, they seem to want to go up the middle of the ice all the time, and they're getting picked off. They got to stay to the boards and get flips to the boards down deep and try to get Big River to turn and run, but they keep wanting to go up the middle of the ice and get picked off, and it's coming right back at them.
So as we go into this second period, if you're the Crusaders coach, what are you saying to your club to keep this at a 2-goal deficit, where they can kind of almost sit back but still try to add that pressure?
I don't think they want to change anything the way they've played. They have controlled the game. Usually when you're controlling the ball, you don't get as tired as if you're chasing. So they don't want to change anything. They want to keep the pressure on. Don't give them any time and space. And the way they've had it, they've had the ball down in Odessa's end the whole time here. So they continue to do that, and they'll probably come out with the win here.
All right. We want to thank Dairy Queen providing the crew refreshments. Find them on 3rd Avenue East in Owen Sound. You can also find them on Main Street in Sauble Beach. Sometimes we have the luxury of getting pizza. Today we had the luxury of having some burgers and fries. We want to thank once again Dairy Queen here in Owen Sound for providing the refreshments for the Rogers TV crew here. All right, so Doug, you've played a fair share of lacrosse games in your time, and tell us a little bit about this Kilsyth Flyers team that you're kind of repping here a little bit.
Yeah, well, I played with them. I started with the Kilsyth Flyers when I was 19, back in 91, I guess it was, 1990. Played with them for quite a few years, and we won a provincial championship back in 02, went to nationals in 03. And then got older, body gave up. So I gave it up for a couple years, but then my son, he wanted to play, and his buddies, so I started up the Kilsyth Flyers juvenile team 7 years ago, and I gave up coaching this year, handed over to Rob Christie and Rob Wepler. They had a midget team coming up, so I thought this might be a good opportunity for me to back away and let them have a chance at it. So,
and now, like many retired athletes, you're up here in the broadcast booth here, doing these games. But now, obviously, when you're playing men's broomball, maybe a little bit of a different game than the women's style of game. But when you're looking down, watching this game, what are you most impressed with these two women's squads?
Well, now with the juvenile game, from years ago when I was playing elite broomball, the ball handling it's unbelievable how they can handle the ball and the wrist shots and how they can manipulate the ball to do stuff. It's amazing. We never thought we could, never even tried to do the stuff that they do now. But I guess that's a generation thing, right? Every generation gets better.
And the thing that I'm most impressed with is the backhanded shots that you see from some of these girls. Absolutely amazing. I know that, like, even a backhanded shot that you do in hockey, some of them aren't as good as you see with some of these girls. Obviously, that's worked into the style here as Odessa coming alive a little bit more here in this second period, Doug.
Yeah. You're saying about the backhand shots, it's funny, some people have a dominant way to shoot. Some shoot backhand, some shoot forehand, but in a game situation, you got to be able to shoot both ways, because you never know how you're going to get the ball in front of the net.
Great chance for the Flames. Blocked by Danica Friesen. That'll come over to the point. Nice play off the boards there. And here's Boussier. She'll fight in the boards with a teammate, trying to get that ball out and create some kind of momentum for their club. And as I mentioned off the top there, Doug, Odessa, yes, they're back in their own end right now, but it seems like there's a little bit of a spark. Something must have been said to them by the coach, because now they're coming out with a little bit more force here.
Yeah, and the start of the second period, they seem to have a little more jump. So I don't know if they got a blast or a pick-me-up or what, but something sparking here for sure.
You see how the generation of broomball has evolved over the years, and you see two Saskatchewan teams here. Obviously, Big River Crusaders, pretty good team. Odessa, still a good team in their own right as well. They're looking for their second win of the season. If you pinpoint a different province outside of Ontario or Quebec who would have a surprising broomball organization, would you say one of them would be Saskatchewan?
Oh, absolutely. They have 2 or 3 really good men's teams in Saskatchewan, and a good junior program too, because Odessa and in the men's division, the Bruno Axman, they're not here this year, but I believe last year they wound up with the bronze medal. So but then that's juvenile broomball, right? You could have a bunch of older players and they age out, and then you got to start over again. So It's like junior hockey.
Good defense in front there by the Crusaders. Now Wilson with an opportunity. She's all alone in the Flame zone. Help finally on the way, but that one's going to be cleared wide by Horner. Now, moving the other way, here's Lenz. Was not able to work that past Cranky. This will go to Cassidy Heinrich behind the net. Heinrich off the boards over to Schaefer. Nice move up to Halassel. But the Crusaders come back with some defense and hold Odessa in their tracks. There's Schaefer again with another chance.
Big Rivers, you can just tell that they're a little bit physically stronger. They're holding them off the ball and getting possession and making plays. And Odessa's hearing footsteps the odd time too. There's a big hit.
Now, I know different playing styles are important. You'll see as this tournament goes on, those different playing styles from the teams. But would you say that a team that has a little bit more of that size and maybe the aggression to their game might have a slight advantage?
Not necessarily. Depends on the situation. If you've got a lot of speed on a team with good ball control, they can be very dangerous. And if you like to hit, sometimes you get caught out of position trying to make a hit. And some of those teams that are fast and skilled, they can make you look pretty stupid.
I guess the happy medium is to be able to kind of have a little bit of both. And I think that's what the Big River Crusaders do have, as we've seen some pretty quick ladies out there on the ice, as this one goes back into Odessa's end.
Odessa started out the second period good, but they've kind of got back into their own end again.
Good save there by Horner. I think the one thing that is really throwing Odessa off is that aggressive play, that it seems almost everywhere that they try to go, there's just a Crusader defender there one step ahead of them playing some great defense.
Yeah, they've got good pursuit on the ball. If Odessa has the ball, they're not long having somebody on them.
Good stop by Horner. Defense in front now. Flames still down 2-0 here as we're going under the 10-minute mark left in this second period. And as we mentioned in game one, there are only 2 periods in Broomball. Now, if it does go to an overtime, which we haven't seen these 2 games so far anyways, make it to that area, Doug, from what I hear, it's an overtime of they basically just play until somebody wins. Yeah,
it's 3-on-3. Yeah, and you just keep playing until somebody wins. We had a game last night, the final game last night. It was overtime. Not sure, might have went about 7 or 8 minutes in, but.
Great play in front. Good stop by Horner as the rebound comes too far out. Tighter rebound there, and there might have been a better chance for the Crusaders to really open this one wide, as there's a little bit of a hit, a second hit there by Myers. She puts Boussier on her back in the Big River zone. Big River, the defense we've already talked about. Yes, they have the good offense, but right now, Odessa really can't solve the Crusaders. We'll see if they're able to kind of get something started here as they're still in Big River's end. .8:30 left to go. A little Bayshore bounce there that the Crusaders were able to get. Both these lines grabbing a breather here.
Odessa needs to really put some pressure on here and get a goal back here quick, because if they don't do it shortly, they're going to run out of time. LaFond,
she'll work this ball around the other side. That's Paige Hinson now who has it. Good play off the boards. I know in hockey there's a good amount of board play, but Doug, I'm impressed with the way that these girls are able to work those plays off the boards.
Yeah, if you get some good teams that can work the boards and get body position and defend the ball with somebody on your back, you can create open space and get chances out of it.
Good stop there by Horner. She read that almost perfectly. Came out to cut off the angle and just got her shoulder on it. It's been a big part of this Flames team right now, keeping them in this game. As we've already mentioned a couple times, she's facing a lot of pressure in that net with a lot of high scoring power from this Crusader squad.
And Big River, they like to shoot too, so that puts a lot of pressure on your goalie and your defense, either to block shots or she's got to be on her toes for some deflections too, because her shots are coming from everywhere.
You mentioned earlier before this game that a little bit of an important one, especially probably for the Big River Crusaders.
Yeah, very important. They win this game, it pretty well clinches a playoff spot for them. So, well, it will clinch one.
Now, if this is the other way and Odessa comes out as the winner, this still will keep them alive, I take it.
I believe so, but I think they might need some help with that. So, it'll help, but they're going to need some other teams to give them a hand and get a win when maybe they shouldn't, but they're going to need some help.
So Odessa still trying to get their first goal of the night against a Crusaders team who, in Saskatchewan, they've probably seen a handful of times throughout the year. How do you play a team, though, that you've maybe seen a number of times throughout a season or throughout the years? How do you try to measure up to them even in a different manner?
Well, you should know as a coach, you should know their strengths and weaknesses. So you gotta try to get a game plan to go after their weaknesses. And maybe Odessa hasn't got that figured out yet. I'm not sure.
Good stop there. A lot of chippy play there.
You get that when teams play each other a lot.
Yep. A little bit of a rivalry between these two teams. 5:50 left to go in the second period. Really outside of those two goals, though, Doug, it's really been a quiet game in the sense of, yeah, there has been some aggressive play, but the Crusaders, they've done a good job controlling this one.
Yeah. In saying that, though, there hasn't been a lot of quality chances either way.
Yeah.
They've got their 2 goals, but yeah, they're having a hard time even getting it to the net and Odessa's end yet.
And that shot does not even get close to the net as it's tangled up in feet. We'll come back to Wilson, who will take the shot. Now scooped up by Demers. She'll move to the outside. Almost was able to fool the goalie there, but went off of a foot. Back to Wilson.
Again, Big River's keeping control of the ball, and they're getting changes when they're on Odessa's end, so that's going to tire them out even more.
Odessa. Now this one is flipped to the inside boards. That was a big play as LaFawn came sliding in there.
He's going to get a penalty for this too, a clip or a trip, whichever way you want to call it.
And Glass went right over top of LaFawn. We'll see this one again here. And just trying to make a play on the ball here. Flips her right over.
Yeah, referee's pretty well got to call that. It's a dangerous play. Somebody can get hurt pretty bad on that.
Well, this is the second power play of the game, and the second power play for the Odessa Flames. Looks like there's going to be a timeout called here. Odessa, this is the opportunity to strike. You've got 4:21 left on the clock, Doug. A 2-minute power play. It's likely you got to try to strike early here and then try to grab one more a little shortly after.
Yeah, Odessa's really got to get a goal here right quick. And you know what? If I was the coach there, I'd probably be pulling the goalie here. They get possession. I'd be getting the goalie out and get a 6-on-4 because there's no sense in saving it to the end because you need a goal now to get back into it.
On the upside, we have the Big River Crusaders who, if you're the coach, what are you saying to them right now? Maybe trying to not get too ahead of the game because realistically anything can happen?
Yeah, they got to do a good job of killing this penalty off. They don't want to give them that opportunity to get back into it because you get one goal and then anything can happen at the end. So they got to do a good job, get in the shooting lanes, and not let them have those quality shots.
Heard from producer Mark Perry just a couple minutes ago that in one of the early games, they pulled the goalie early on with like 15 minutes left to go in the period. Doug, what are your thoughts?
That's I don't know the situation on that one, but I don't know. I wouldn't. That's a little risky as far as I'm concerned with 15 minutes left, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? If it adds a spark to your team and you're able to get something going, then there's been some pretty creative plays in sports over the last decade. So anything can happen, as that's a good play by the Crusaders.
It's going to go for icing, though.
All right, so now 1:32 left in this power play for Odessa. If you've got a strike in 1 point really on the goaltender, I know we haven't really seen any goals get past her. Where are you trying to aim if you're the Flames? Are you trying to aim maybe over that outside shoulder?
I think they're going to plug the front of the net, so you got to hit the sides of the net, have somebody sitting there for a deflection, because they're shots from out top. They're just going to plug the front of the net. They're not going to get through. So, just like that right there. And
looks like there was a kicking motion in there, so that's going to be stopped. But
kicked into the crease, the face-off go outside.
Those are the kind of chances that you need there, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Great play in front.
And went off the girl out front, off her foot, so it was automatically whistled down. But that's the type of play you need instead of the straightaway shot through, because they're going to block them.
And that's a big save there for Myers, the goaltender, because you look at it and you say, yeah, you know what, there's 3 minutes and however many seconds left on the clock, and your team's already up by 2. You haven't faced many shots really in this period. If you have even a slight one like that get past you, it could change this whole dynamic of the game.
Oh, absolutely. She's probably a little cold, so if you can get one to the net, she's probably hoping they don't, because when you haven't faced a lot of shots, it's tough on the goalie.
Shot blocked in front. This will be Oros who throws that to the top of the point. That's Prochin who will flip that to Schaefer. And Schaefer with the shot. Good opportunity, but a save there by Myers, and a big one at that with 2:29 left.
Yeah, only 8 seconds left in the power play here. Odessa needs to, Big River's using a big box on their penalty kill. They need to work that ball down low and for that open space in front of the net, because they're leaving that slot wide open.
Now, Oros, she'll play a nice play off the boards. That ball goes in front, and another good stop by Myers. She's facing probably the most pressure that she's faced all period long in these dying minutes of this game, as the Flames still looking for their first goal as they're down 2. We throw back to Oros at the point. Correction, that's Prochin. She's got Oros now, who will work it over to Schaefer. That's Boussier with the charge on the ball.
Odessa needs to get some more movement here to get a chance. They're running out of time.
Schaefer, good chance in front. That one stopped in the power play now. They're 0 for 2 on the night, and 1:24, time's ticking down. That window of opportunity is getting slimmer and slimmer as the seconds go by. It's won by the Crusaders. This one's stopped by Oros. That'll go over to Prochin. Deflected in front by LaFond, and she'll just fire this one down into the opposing end, and it'll be an icing again. But 1:08, and yeah, even a play like that will still at least take a couple important seconds off the clock, Doug.
Absolutely. The more time you can kill right now, the better for Big River. Odessa needs to, they need to get that ball worked down along the goal line, because the shots from out by the blue line, you're not going to score on them.
They need a quick one, and then they need one to be in their favor, as still down 2-0. Now we're under a minute left to go. Third icing in the last couple minutes here, but Big River just plain and simply just trying to control this ball at this point and not let Odessa get any wide open looks on Myers, who has played pretty well. She hasn't faced many shots tonight, Doug, but has been there when they've needed her.
Yeah, absolutely. She's come up with a couple key saves, and I don't know what the refs are talking about here, if they're discussing the icings here. There is a rule that if you make 2 icings in a row, it could be a delay of game, but it has to be in the same play, like right off the face-off. There's been a whole sequence here, so there shouldn't be an issue there.
All right. We'll have this face off again. As this ball, Boussier trying to still stay with it. Oros.
Big River needs to get that ball to the boards. They're trying to go up the middle.
Boussier threw it into the middle, and all there was a Big River defender there. Under 20 seconds left to go in this game. Odessa trying to figure out some kind of offense to have here, as that's a big hit in the boards. But with 6 seconds left, I think this is going to be a penalty.
I think they're going to take one either side. They gave the initial one, and another girl came in there and hit her. So I don't think it was really much of a penalty. It was a good, no, it was from behind. Okay, I thought it was from the side, but yeah, that's a good call.
So realistically, these you've got offsetting penalties there, 6.3 seconds left. I would say that this is a Big River Crusader win, and this is going to be a defining one. It's going to push them to 4-1 in this tournament right now, and with only a couple days in this tournament, every point that you can get absolutely matters, especially when you're trying to chase the top dog who's coming out of Quebec. And you mentioned it earlier, Doug, in the sense of Ontario and Quebec always bringing solid teams to the table.
Usually it comes down to Quebec and Ontario as a rule in the finals. Yeah, and that win for Big River, that seals the deal. They'll be A side for sure, just a matter of who they'll play in the playoffs.
All right, so a commanding 2-0 win for the Big River Crusaders over the Odessa Flames as they get the last laugh in this Saskatchewan rivalry between these two clubs. They're going to go and do the MVP here for each team, but if you had to pick one player for Odessa, I would say that you'd probably go with the goaltender?
I would say probably the goalie, yeah. Yeah, she had a pretty good game there, kept them in it at least. She saw quite a few shots there, so I would say the goalie, yeah.
And if you had to take one for the Crusaders, who would you take?
Geez, I'm not sure. There wasn't anybody that I saw that really stood out, but I guess we'll find out here if the All-Star Committee's got one.
And we mentioned it there. The netminder, she's the one that played strong and comes away with the MVP there. And on the other end, it is number 20. That's Haley Becker who gets the MVP for the Big River Crusaders. So that does it here for Matt Sanderson and Doug McGregor up in the booth. Doug slotted in here for game 2 of this 3-game night. Doug, pleasure to have you here, and there should be exciting going forward in the tournament.
Yeah, they've got Palmerston Terminators and Kilsyth Young Guns coming up next, and basically whoever wins that could have a chance of going A side. Whoever loses is probably done, so it's a big game for both teams.
All right, we'll have to see how that one goes. We'll be bringing that one to you in just a brief moment. Stay with us. We have more of the Canadian Broomball Championships here on Rogers TV.